Okay, my first question to you is, how did you get started being a songwriter? How did your career begin?
Oh my, I was very young. I had a very influential father who I can remember being 4 years old and him buying me a record player and a big band album for my first musical experience, and then it was followed up by an album by Dave Brubeck called Take Five, which was, I'm really aging myself here because that album's probably 60 or 55 years old now. But he created an interest in music for me, and just like so many kids, at a certain age, you became a little influenced by school activities, the dances, the sock hops, and I saw the bands playing at the sock hops, and I said, oh man, I want to do that. And of course, so many of us our age were fans of Elvis.
Oh, yeah.
And I had pictures of Elvis on my wall, and I wanted to imitate Elvis. So I got a guitar, and I learned every one of Elvis's songs. I had a teacher who taught me different chords that I could play along with Elvis songs, and that's how basically I got started. And then my interest grew, my abilities got better, and when I got into a later age, high school, college, I was playing professionally, and probably playing professionally younger than I should have. I got into a lot of trouble. But I got into college, and then got offered a job out in Las Vegas with a very great show band. And so I left Texas and went out to Vegas, and from then on, I just started playing with different groups. And I kept playing for the rest of my life up until about 15 years ago, when I decided to be more committed to orchestration and writing.
Mm-hmm.
Is that good enough to cover those years?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And then, not only that, you worked and still are working with Marilyn McCoo and Billy Davis, some great people.
Absolutely. We have a project together now called Coming Together, which is a true blessing for me. Billy Davis Jr. is a pastor. Everybody knows him as the great vocalist with the Fifth Dimension, and then he and Marilyn having number one hits and gold records and Grammys all over the place as the husband and wife team, and their TV shows. But most people don't know that Billy is a minister. And about 5 years ago, I was working with a ministry in Dallas called Joshua Experience, and they are about a 26-piece group when you include the vocalists. It's a big band. And they've got a very unusual sound because it's big band gospel.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a true story. I was at the house of the pastor, a friend of mine, Larry Randall. I was in the bedroom, and I heard a voice calling to me, and it said, "Randy, I will bring you people. Go get Billy and Marilyn." Well, it just so happened that a week before that, I had decided that I was going to go see all the entertainers that I haven't seen yet that I really respected. And I had just purchased tickets to go see Billy and Marilyn in Florida. So this kind of threw me off, needless to say. And I went to Florida, and I saw Billy and Marilyn in the hallway waiting to go on stage. So I jumped over there, and I said, Billy, my name's Randy Breedlove. I want to shake your hand. And he says, are you Randy Breedlove? The Randy Breedlove. Marilyn overheard it. She came running over, and she says, are you Randy Breedlove? And I said, yeah. And I'm going, what in the heck is going on? And they said that one of the people who takes ticket reservations had told them that a couple was flying all the way in from Texas just to see their show in Florida. And they felt that they should meet me. And that's how we met. We had never worked together, didn't know each other.
Wow. And you're still working together now. You know, you have this upcoming project coming together, and that's wonderful, you know.
Yes, it is. It is. After that meeting, we knew that there was something going on and something very special that we were supposed to do. So after we got to know each other better, we started communicating musically. And Billy and I sat down, wrote a couple of songs together, and Billy said, you know what, Randy? Let's do this thing. And and it's a very, very big project, Trey, when you're considering that it's two ministries and they're in different parts of the country, and almost everybody involved is volunteers. And there's in the Christian ministry music world, it's pretty much dominated now by the major labels. So it's a difficult world to do it yourself, regardless of whether it's a Christian album or a rock album or whatever. The business is just tough. And we feel so blessed because when the Lord said that He will bring people, He does, and He has. And they keep coming. People like you who sought me out is going to give us some exposure. And we appreciate that. And some people in groups like Take Six, Jimmy Webb, Burt Bacharach's pianist, Snuffy Walden, the guitarist from Shaka Khan, just on and on and on. People are coming up from everywhere and wanting to be on this album and giving of their time and talents. And it's just amazing. Just amazing.
Yeah, and it will constantly keep growing. You know, more people will come.
Yes. I firmly believe that too, Trey. And with help from people like you, it makes it easier.
Yeah, that's great, you know, people, and, you know, get a lot of positive publicity, and, you know, so that's great, you know. God bless you, more power to you, you know.
Well, thank you so much. I guess for all the people listening, Trey and I spoke a little bit before this call, and Trey had asked for this interview a long time ago. And we were very, cautious of releasing the news of this project prematurely. And the official release of this is not going to be until November 1st. But Trey and I talked, and I said, you know, you were the first one to come to us, so you're going to get the premier interview. So I'm doing this today, and then Trey and Billy and Marilyn are going to follow up in a couple of weeks with another pre-release interview, and you'll get to hear Billy and Marilyn's story about their marvelous career, their recent 50th wedding anniversary, and their involvement in the Coming Together project.
Yeah, a lot of great things is going to happen during the interview. Yeah, and I'm a big fan of them, so I'm excited to interview them very much.
Oh, I'm sure. Well, one thing I can tell you as a producer and arranger, I've worked with a lot of people. I can't say enough about the professionalism of Billy and Marilyn. They're just, it's uncanny how they have such an intuitive talent on being able to interpret an arrangement. For example, I did an arrangement on the Jimmy Webb song called Someone Is Standing Outside.
Mm-hmm.
And Billy went through it, and by the time we were finished with it, there was not any repairs to be made. This man just nailed it.
Wow.
And I was in tears. And I was expecting, to have to give a little bit of guidance somewhere throughout the song process. But I really didn't have to. These guys are actually that good that it's hard to add much to what they interpret. And as an arranger, it's kind of astonishing because so many times when you're arranging a song for a vocalist, you have to go back and change things to fit their style or a phrasing or different things. Well, it's a little bit different with Billy and Marilyn. They hear an arrangement and they know how to work with it. And so their stylistic approach is based around hearing the arrangement and, if needed, modifying their own style so that it blends better with the arrangement. I don't think I've ever been through a more trouble-free recording scenario than with Billy and Marilyn. It's incredible. I can't give them enough credit.
Yeah, that's amazing, And they're great at what they do. They've been at it for a long time, and they're still kicking, and they're still doing it, and that's awesome.
Yes, it is. It is. They're still doing it. They're secular personalities, and their business and performing is still strong. In fact, they just got through headlining in the Orleans and Vegas, and they still do a lot of things. They're in big demand, and it's a big step doing the Coming Together project because it is a little bit different than what they've done before. But Billy is serious about his ministry.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm serious about the project. Joshua's serious about their ministry, and we're going to give this the old college try with the help of the Lord.
Oh, absolutely. And when will this be premiered? You said sometime in November?
Yes, we're going to officially release some press stuff around November 1st.
Okay.
And then our first two songs are going to be released. In today's world, it's becoming more of a tradition now to release singles again. It's almost like for me being 13 again and buying 45s. It's a very good way to build the momentum up